Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope that you're having a fantastic day so far. I hope wherever you are in the world, today has been treating you well. In today's video, I'm going to be doing yet another eyeshadow palette bingo with a Cosmic Brushes eyeshadow palette. I very recently picked up the Cosmic Brushes Muse palette and I just love doing these eyeshadow palette bingos. It gives me the opportunity to try these eyeshadows and try the colour stories in a way that is completely out of my control. So I randomise all of the colours, I pick 5 and then I create some sort of eyeshadow look. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret. This is the second time I am filming this video, or rather filming the little intro section, because I just did the whole thing, you know, selected 5 shades and I picked the exact same 5 shades that I picked for the first impression video that I did like last week or the week before. So I am picking again. I've reset the wheel and I'm picking again because I want to try these shades and I want to try some different shades and I don't want to just pick the same 5 shades that I picked the first time around, you know? So this is the second time I'm filming this. I hope that that is okay with you, but how is it even entertainment at this point? I mean, it's not, but how is it entertaining watching me do exactly the same look, just on a different day? So I'm hoping that this time round, I'm going to pick some slightly different colours, because it was like the purples, it was the look that I did in the first impression video. I picked all of the same shades. So if you can see like bits of glitter on the back of my hand, that's because I was swatching them and I was like, oh, I've already used that one. Oh, I've already used that one as well. Oh, I've already used this one. And then I got to the end and I was like, I've picked this exact same shade, so I'm picking again. I hope that that's okay. I highly recommend that you get yourself a beverage. This is a coffee. Can you even see? It's a coffee, but my husband drank all of the milk and didn't tell me, so I'm having a black coffee. Which isn't what I wanted, but any coffee is better than no coffee. Okay. And let's just pick 5 shades. And if I pick the same 5 shades again on the little wheel, I'm gonna scream. So I'm gonna pick 5. First up, we have got Softly. Okay, haven't used that one yet. That's the light grey, matte grey. Haven't used that one yet. Happy to be using that one. It's a very light matte. So it will be very useful for like blending something out, that sort of thing, or maybe even as like an inner corner. We'll see what other shades I get. So choice number 2 is going to be Muse. Okay, so a pink shimmer. Ooh, that one feels very creamy. Ooh, that's pretty. That is very pretty. Okay. I like the look of that one. I like the look of that one a lot. Then choice number 3 is gonna be Antique. Okay, I did use this one last time, but it was beautiful, so very happy to be using that one again. It is a duochrome grey lilac, almost got a little hint of green in it. Very pretty, very soft. Like, I feel like that will go with any other colours that I might choose. I really love that shade. I love that one a lot. So I hope I get another matte that's darker. Amethyst. That sounds like it should be dark. It's a shimmer, but that's fine. It's a dark shimmery purple. Not as shimmery as the other two. Slightly sort of softer. More of like a satiny sort of finish, that's how I would describe Amethyst. But so far so good. I like that colour story a lot. Now, quite often with these eyeshadow palette bingos, it's the 5th shade that makes it just go, you know, makes it just completely wild. So the 5th shade is going to be Filigree, a matte green. What did I just say? This is the shade that I used last time as a smoky wing. So I'm happy to have this one again with some slightly different tones. So I might actually use that through the crease. So that is all of the shades that I'm going to be using today. So we have got Softly, Muse, Antique, Amethyst and Filigree. So they are all of the shades that I am working with today. So these two, the top and the bottom one, are mattes. These two are like duochromy, very shimmery, very reflective shades. And then this one, Amethyst, is more of a satiny, very softly reflective shade. So that's what we're working with. I will zoom you in and we can create some sort of eye look. So as always, I have my eyeshadow primer on. I used the Beauty Bay eyeshadow primer and I've already got my brows on, which are the e.l.f. Micro Pencil and the e.l.f. Wow Brow. So let me I want quite a big brush because I think I want to put that green like quite lightly through the crease. I don't ever know what I'm doing, just so that we're all on the same page. So I'm going to take a fluffy brush. Also, none of my brushes are clean. I do not have time for that currently. So taking a fluffy brush and I'm going to dip into the Filigree shade, which is this one on the top row, the green that we picked. And I'm going to just get quite a small amount of that. And I'm going to work this through the crease. This is going to be like my crease transition-y tone. I might actually just keep that further out because that is quite dark. Okay, so that is the Filigree shade all blended out. I like that shade. Like I said, this is the one that I used last time as like a smoky wing, but actually I feel like blending that out, that looks quite a bit softer than I was maybe expecting it to. So I'm going to just use this same brush and I'm going to dip into that light grey matte, which was called Softly, this one here. And again, tap off the brush. And I'm going to put that further in, like on the inner half of the crease, and blend it into that Filigree shade. And I'm also going to like run this over the top edge just to help that green blend out a little bit, so it does sort of soften it down a little bit. So I actually think at this stage I'm gonna do my little trick where I take just some regular sellotape. I need to purchase some actual cosmetic tape that is safe to like stick onto your face, but for the time being this will absolutely do. It does the job. I'm just very aware that, you know, this is made for parcels, not for your face. And I'm going to tape off the outer corner. I have already blended that green a little bit out there, but I can clean that up afterwards. What I'm thinking is, where in the first impressions video I did like purples across the lid and then did a green wing, I'm thinking this time I can do the green more across the lid with like the pink shimmers obviously, and then do a purple wing, so it's sort of the same but different because this is basically all I know how to do. So I'm just sticking the tape on where I want to blend that wing out into, stick that on there, and then I'm going to build up more of that Filigree shade and basically just tap that right into the tape. So you can see where that's like sticking more, where it's obviously on my skin and like it's not sticking where the tape is. And then the rest of what's underneath the tape I will clean away at the end with some micellar water. So I have darkened that up quite considerably with that filigree shade. I simply love greens and purples together. You'll be so bored of hearing me say that, but I really, really do. So I'm going to just use my finger and I'm going to blend. How do I want to do this? I want the antique shade basically all over my lid, but then where do I incorporate? I might just put the pinkier one, which was Muse. I might just put that like right in there and put antique right across the lid, and then create the purple smoky wing with the dark purple. Does that sound like a plan? I never have a plan. I never ever have a plan. Let's just do that. I'm gonna just, like I say, these apply best just tapping on with your finger. So taking that, what have I got all over me? Taking that antique shade, tapping that all over the lid. And actually when I used this shade in that first impression where I had more like purples all across the lid, I felt like this lent more purple, but now that that shade is on with the greens, I feel like that is showing up more of the green. It's a really unique shade, truly. It's very adaptive, I would say. It's the sort of shade that will go with any sort of eyeshadow underneath it, like whatever match you've got on, it will just go with it. It'll just go along for the ride, you know? So, really packing quite a bit of that on, all over the lid. And then when I have less on my finger, I'm like tapping that up through the crease just to blend it out a little bit, but I barely even feel like that needs blending. Like, it's so soft and reflective and like smooth. No effort at all. So then I am just taking a flat brush into that Muse shade, which was the pink shimmery one, because my nails are quite long at the minute and I know that I'm just not going to be able to get anywhere near that inner corner, and I'm gonna add quite a bit of this right onto the inner third-ish of the lid, and almost like use the shape of that brush to like press it into the crease. Ooh, that's pretty. And again, I feel like adding that pink is bringing out a little bit more of the pink in that antique shade. It's such a beautiful shade. It's so pretty. And that Muse shade almost has some like, it has like a gold like reflect in it, which I feel like is going with that antique, it's going with the green. I am just going to take a much smaller, more tapered brush, and I'm going to pick up some more of that filigree shade and keep that right in the crease, because this is the only matte deep shade that I've got, so I really want to like deepen up the crease quite like precisely with that green. And I don't want like the pinks and everything to take over. I do still want this to be quite green, so I feel like that will sort of contrast with the purple wing quite nicely. And then I'm just going to go back in with that big fluffy brush that we started with into that light matte grey, and I'm just going to use that to help buff over the top edge. And then we can move on to that purple wing. I don't know what I'm going to do under the eye. Haven't thought that far ahead yet. I never do. I don't know what I'm going to do there. But that is a problem for in like half an hour in my time. Like 5 minutes for you. Probably not even that long. So I'm happy with all of that, and I'm going to take a long flat liner brush and I'm just going to pick up quite a substantial amount of that amethyst shade, this purple, and I'm going to use this as a smoky purple wing. So I'm just stamping this along the lash line. I feel like when you do a wing with an eyeshadow in this way, it doesn't need to be neat. Or that's what I'm telling myself anyway. Are you falling for it? I'm not sure if I am, but just stamping this all the way along the lash line and then out into that tape. That is working. That is doing something. And I do also feel like I'm losing the sort of sharpness of that line, where obviously this purple is a shimmer and I'm laying it over shimmers. It truly, honestly doesn't have to be neat. It doesn't. So the problem, like the difficult part in this, honestly, is getting the tape equal. If you can get the tape equal, then the liner is the easy bit, because you're just tapping it along the edge of the tape, if that makes sense. So I feel like they are fairly equal now. Those wings, maybe a little bit more on this side. Also, a cat has just joined me. I finally got round to getting rid of all of the boxes and bags and everything that she was rustling in the last few times that she's been in here. So hopefully she'll be able to stay without causing a racket. But let's remove these bits of tape. They are not at all equal. This one is much higher. Never mind. Who's looking that closely anyway? I'm only pretending to know what I talk about. So I'm going to go off. I am going to do the rest of my face. I'm going to clean up all of this fallout under my eyes, because I'm applying with my fingers and my fingers are not very precise, and I end up with eyeshadow all over me. So I'm going to go off, clean all of this up and come back and we can finish up under the eyes together. I don't know what I want to do. Maybe just that green. Let's wait and see. I'll see you in a minute or two. Okie dokie, so just finishing off the eyes with a little bit of mascara. And obviously when I say a little bit, I mean my level of a little bit, which is loads. And I'm going to honestly, I think I'm just going to run that green all the way along the lower lash line. I think that that's what I want to do. So taking that tapered brush into filigree, a very, very small amount, and I'm just going to quite roughly run that all the way along. I'm also going to like ever so slightly tap that over like where that tape was, just to soften that line down a tiny little bit. Sometimes I feel like when I do that technique with the tape, sometimes I feel like that can end up looking quite harsh, but just tapping a little bit of shadow sort of underneath where that eyeshadow wing is, I feel like that softens it down ever so slightly. So just running this green all the way along. I might put a little bit more. I feel like I want something on the inner corner. Oh, what's that? Yeah, I feel like I need something brighter right on the inner corner, but what shade would I use? Because I feel like that pink is potentially too dark to have right on the inner corner. But then maybe not. Maybe that could be quite fun. Maybe. So just taking that same dense brush into Muse, which was that pink shimmer, and I'm just really working that into the brush. Yeah, that works. Why was I so scared of that? I mean, a pink inner corner isn't necessarily for everybody. It could potentially look a little bit pink-eye-ish, but I feel like with the greens and everything else, I do feel like, and there's also like enough gold in that pink, I feel like that looks acceptable. I do just want to take a clean, fluffy brush, because I feel like when I when I do my eyeshadow first and then I'm like tapping the concealer around, it does sometimes give a little bit of a harsh line like right in here. So just taking a clean brush and making sure that that concealer and the grey tone that I put in there is nicely feathered together. Yeah, I think I'm happy with how that looks. So just some more mascara on the lower lashes. And if you've seen my channel before, you will know that I need to concentrate, because the amount of times that I finish an eye look and I'm really, really happy with it, like how I am today, and then I go to put my lower lashes mascara on and I end up getting mascara literally everywhere where I don't need it. So that is the finished look. I'm very happy with how that's turned out. I wasn't thrilled with the colour choices. I mean, they're nice, but like I wasn't sure how that was all going to turn out. But something green with a purple smoky wing, I'm absolutely not mad at how that's turned out. And I feel like that goes nicely with my dress as well, which is purple. I feel like that goes quite nicely. I'm happy about how this has turned out. So I would absolutely love to hear what you think of the finished look. I am going to be doing an eyeshadow palette bingo with Winter Wonderland, but I think I'm going to be doing that in December because obviously it's a winter eyeshadow palette. I feel like that will be more winter appropriate, but I'm actually hoping that soon, hopefully before this goes out, maybe I will have already reviewed the what was it called, the mystery bundle that they were bringing out. Sinister, was it called? Something like that. I'm hoping that they get that shipped fairly soon. At the time of filming, it hasn't shipped yet, but I'm hoping that that's here soon. So if you want to see reviews, unboxings for the mystery bundle that they have brought out, that will be very, very soon. It may already be up because I'm going to get that up quite quickly. So I would love to hear your thoughts down below on the look, on the shades that I picked. If you have done an eyeshadow palette bingo with the Muse palette, I'd love to hear how yours turned out, what shades were picked, what sort of look you went for. I really, really like how this one's turned out, but like I say, I am a big old fan of green and purple together, so I would be happy with these colour choices. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.